What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another day. Today we're going to be taking care of the E36. We got to do the rear wheel bearings. And so I'm going to chalk the front wheels up, lift the whole rear, and start disassembling everything, taking off the axle nuts, taking off the wheels, obviously, all that fun stuff. So let's get it, guys. I took a little break just to put WD-40 on the wheel bearing nut. That way it can come loose a little bit without fighting it too much. I should have done that for the axle bolts. Actually, should probably do that now. Alright, so I got that caliper supported up and everything. Now to get this T6, I believe. I gotta get these bolts removed on the rear side. Hopefully you guys can see good there. Oh yeah, and something I've learned over time too is whenever you get stuck on something, don't stay stuck on that one thing. If there is other things you can do around in the project, do those first. That way you don't overly stress yourself. And then come back to it at the end and then deal with it. You might even think of a different approach while you're doing this other stuff. So now the only thing stopping us from taking off this axle is this one right here. See? And sometimes it just ends up working out. Now I gotta get this one bolt off of the sway bar bracket and drop the axle so I can maneuver this drive shaft out. The size 13 money. There's a nut on the back of it. I'm gonna take off the sway bar bracket from that side as well so it could swivel down. Alrighty guys, so I ended up taking off this rotor. I had to spray WD-40 in between all these holes and this hub right here. So it was getting kind of stuck. So I started hammering the hub on the inside to break it loose. I grabbed this big hammer and put it behind the rotor and like smacked it towards me until the rotor came flying off. I dropped the sway bar as well. As you guys can see, I took the bolts off and then pried it down. So now we should be able to maneuver that axle out of there. Alrighty guys, and she finally decided to come out. Man, seriously, the slide hammer, I had to put in like, I'd probably say maybe 200 pulls with my left arm and 200 pulls with my right arm. It's like the craziest workout, honestly. I'm glad I've been going to the gym. Now I just gotta pull this axle. Hopefully I don't have to remove the exhaust, but we're about to find out. I'm gonna have to remove that exhaust. I'm gonna take off this V-band and then drop this section of the exhaust real quick just so I can clear it out of the way. Alrighty guys, and there she is, one axle out. Alright guys, I didn't have snap ring pliers and I wasn't about to go try and get some, so I just used my needle nose right there, boom, took it out, and now just the bearing to pull. Guys, so today's a new day. Where we left off last time, we ended up damaging one of our axles, trying to hammer it out. So the threads, where the threads go and everything, and the lock nut for the axle kind of got messed up a little bit. So we went ahead and ordered a new axle for the rear, and we ended up putting in one of the actual wheel hubs themselves. And when I went to go fit the axle on, the splines were not the same. Learned not to hammer those out, and we still have to press out the wheel bearing on the passenger side. So I'm gonna get into it, show you guys all of that. We are trying to kind of beat the rain. If it starts raining really heavy, I'm gonna just cut it short, and that'll be it for today. I'm really trying to get this stuff done though. Sometimes you got to deal with the weather, and that's all right. It's part of the game, you know what I mean? Not always is it gonna be perfect weather, but it says something in the Bible that I always like to quote. It's like if you wait for the perfect timing, it may never come, or something like that. It's something along those lines, but pretty much, yeah, just act on it. If you got intentions on something, do it, regardless of the rain, you know. I have a garage too, it's a mess by my fault. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm removing the little axle nut first. All right, as you guys can tell, that slipped right in, no problem. So this is definitely the correct axle and the correct spline pattern on the hub, which I'm really happy about, because the other one doesn't fit. It's not the right one. It's way too tight. Wait a minute. That slipped in. That's hilarious. But I'm gonna be pissed if whole time I did it right. That makes me question if the OEM one is different. That got me questioning a lot right now. So what the deal is here? Did I just mess up the splines? Is that what it is? All right, guys. I'm gonna start removing this exhaust just to make it easier for myself. There she goes. Hopefully you guys get a good low capture of everything right there. Boom, slipped right in, no problem, dude. Let's go. And also, I'm really happy. I barely made this exhaust to where you can barely slide out this axle, dude. Like, the clearance is, I maybe got like a 1/8 of an inch, maybe if that, available. I put up the sway bar a little bit, and that seemed to have cleared up some space for me there. Just getting around the bolts because I couldn't spin this. It's kind of tough, but it's all right. And then this, I believe, gets torqued to 159 foot-pounds. So I'm gonna rip it with this drill first, and then I'll do the other side, and then after I'll torque everything down to spec. I looked in all my repair manuals and everything. I cannot find for the life of me any torque specs to these bolts. So I just ooga-dooga'd them with the drill. And you know what? I know exactly why these aren't spinning. I have it in reverse. We're gonna knock out the other side on the passenger side. No good. Yo, I learned that little trick from like some old head of like putting the snap ring on without like pliers or anything. They just like scooch it in, use a flathead, pry it in, and let it slip on. It's kind of cool to see this thing, like things like that just work. It's hilarious. Perfect. Now I gotta put the heat shield back on. So the other side I forgot to do that, and I ended up having to cut just a line straight down the middle. That way I have 2 mounting bolts on the top and 2 mounting bolts on the bottom. And obviously that's not the right way to do things, but you know, whatever. Eventually I'll end up probably getting rid of the heat shield anyway, so it didn't really matter to me. But if you want it done right, bearing, then heat shield, then you do the wheel hub. This is for the Ebrake right here that I was adjusting. I'll show you guys on this side. Hopefully you guys get a better view. But this right here, this little scroll wheel, the more you hit it down, the more this expands. So it pushes it out like that. You want these closer to the inside of the rotor. So I got something flat to fit it, the face of it. It's gonna push up against this ring right here. And then on the back side, it has to be small enough to fit the bearing. The inner race of the bearing, it'll fall out if I don't put this on the back side of it. So it has to hold it like that while you're pressing the wheel hub in. So this is gonna be on the back side. That's the nut and washer assembly in the back. This one walks a lot easier than the wheel hub itself, or the bearing, I mean. So let me see if you guys can see the gap on the back side close up a little bit. Guys, see that gap closing? I'll keep going till this is super tight. So that's the new wheel bearing and hub pressed into place. I almost forgot the axle. I won't be pinching that nut or like the end of it. I won't be pinching that down until after I torque it and seat it fully, then it'll be good to go. And for now that it's actually tight and holding some of the threads, I can go ahead and start doing the actual e-torques on the back side of it. I just have to put the rotors back on, adjust the e-brake, torque those bolts down, put the sway bar back on, slap the wheels on, and give her a rip. So everything's put back together. The only thing I gotta do, I'm gonna have my girlfriend hold the brakes on the car while I tighten these bolts down to 159 foot-pounds, and then I'll go ahead and pinch it right here with something like a chisel like this, and just pinch that in a little bit, and then that should be it. I'm down low installing these little nuts on the sway bar. It's the sway bar bracket bolts. Kevin made exhaust. Yeah. All right. Also, tomorrow, guys, for another video, I'm gonna be going to pick up a new part for the E36. I found it local, and it's a pretty significant piece to the puzzle. So you guys gotta stay tuned for that. It's gonna be real exciting. Gotta drive about, I wanna say, an hour out of town to go pick it up. Somebody's actually gonna meet me halfway, thankfully. They were super cool about it and willing to meet me halfway. So I'm gonna go ahead and head out to that tomorrow and probably take you guys along for the ride. Alrighty guys, and there you have it. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. Hopefully it was helpful to you if you're doing the rear wheel bearings on your E36 and the wheel hubs. But please remember to like, favorite, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. You already know the deal, guys. We'll catch you in the next one. Till then, keep it true. It's been real, guys. Peace.